What's going on, plugins? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Kentucky's statement win over Florida. Before we get into this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're new here, sub to the channel and become a part of the family. Now let's get into the video. Kentucky has finally started their conference schedule, and the first game was against Florida. Kentucky escaped the SEC opener, beating Florida in a close game, 87-85. This was a great test for Kentucky. Going into this game, everyone was worried about Kentucky's rebounding and defense. Florida is one of the top rebounding teams in the country, averaging 45 per game, so this should have been a huge problem for Kentucky, but they held their own. They had 40 rebounds as a team, and Florida had 43. Florida was going crazy from three in the first half, and this had me nervous because it looked like the game was starting to get out of hand. Coach Kyle warned them before the game that Florida was going to knock down their threes. He said this: "I told the team they're going to make every shot. We got to get over these pick and rolls. We got to get over these dribble handoffs. They may have missed shots against Baylor. They're not missing them on this court, and they didn't." So luckily this didn't cost Kentucky the game. Kentucky struggled this game from three and with turnovers. As a team, they were 25% from three, and they had 9 turnovers. They had more turnovers than assists this game. This cannot happen moving forward. Rob was 0 for 4 from three, and he had the most turnovers with 4, and Tre Mitchell was 0 for 2 from three. They're usually great three-point shooters, but against Florida, their shots weren't falling. Hopefully they won't have a lot of bad games like this. Now let's talk about some players who helped Kentucky get this big win. First, let's talk about Aaron Bradshaw, who made the biggest shot of the game. With about 1:30 left in the second half, the game was tied up 76-76, and DJ Wagner called for a screen, and Aaron Bradshaw rolled out to the three-point line and called for the ball, and he knocked down the shot. That changed the momentum of the game, and that's the reason why they won this game. They needed that bucket bad. He's a great three-point shooter. He was making those type of shots in high school. Aaron Bradshaw showed he's clutch, and if you need a big-time shot from him late in games, he can get you a bucket. He didn't look scared of the moment at all. He finished the game with 10 points and 7 rebounds. He did well on the boards. He had a solid game. Kentucky leaned on their veteran players this game. Tre Mitchell was a menace in the paint, grabbing 10 rebounds. He was the main reason why Kentucky did well against one of the top rebounding teams in the country. Even though he wasn't shooting good from three, he made up for grabbing rebounds. He had 8 rebounds in the first half, so he came out there and set the tone for Kentucky early. He finished the game with a double-double, dropping 12 points and 10 rebounds. Antonio Reeves came into this game and did what was expected of him, being the leading scorer for this team. He led the team in points this game, dropping 19. He looked poised and never was fazed by the big game. He was knocking down shots from all over the court. Kentucky's going to need performances like this from him for the rest of the season. If he can drop 15 to 20 points every game, Kentucky will be in good shape, because we already know he can pop off for 25 or 30 points at any time. DJ Wagner performed the best at all the freshmen this game. He had 14 points, shooting 6 for 10 from the field. He stepped up big in the second half, leading Kentucky in points. He's making some tough layups in the paint. DJ Wagner was looking real shifty this game. Florida really couldn't stop him from getting to the rim. Also, DJ Wagner led the team in assists. He has now had 2 good games in a row, so he's peaking at the right time. Reese Shepard had a quiet first half. He was struggling making his free throws, but in the second half, he started making his shots, and he made his free throws in crunch time when it mattered the most. He ended the game with 14 points. He didn't have any steals or blocks. This is the first game Reese Shepard had this season that he didn't get at least 1 steal. That's crazy, plugins. Now I expect him to get at least 2 steals next game. Kentucky showed this game they can be a solid rebounding team, and to me they play well on defense. Those were the 2 main things that people were worried about going into these conference games. If all the freshmen can play at a high level, they can honestly win out. They also need to shoot better from 3 and not turn the ball over. Kentucky's a decent 3-point shooting team, and they honestly don't turn the ball over often. Once they get settled after maybe 3 games, we'll really see how dangerous they can be. Was this a statement win for Kentucky? How many games do you think they can win in the second half of the season? Drop your opinions in the comments. Drop a like on the video and sub to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I post. I got more college basketball videos on the way, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.